Excited for our football team for the University of South Carolina. I want to thank Jim McVay and the Outback Bowl people and what a wonderful week that they had for us. The great thing about this bowl game, Jim, is you don't make us do 400 different things. But the one thing you do ask us to go to, I went. So it was great to be there and represent the University of South Carolina in a first-class manner. Huge win for our football program. We don't have all the trophies and the tradition and the history, but we got some grit. We got some toughness and resolve. We're 10-3 in one-score games in 2 years. Our players understand how to win close ball games. And you saw us down 19-3, not a lot of good things happening for us. We found some things. I thought Brian McClendon did an outstanding job preparing our football team offensively and the entire offensive staff going into this game. Made a lot of adjustments at halftime on some things that we felt like we could take advantage of. We're only the 5th team this year to have at least 300 yards against them. We're right at 5.2 yards a play. And but really proud of those guys and some shots we took down the field, being aggressive in our mentality and what we're trying to do. Certainly the tempo helped us create some cheap yardage for us. I'm not going to address anything else about the offensive coordinator position at this time, but really impressed with Bryan and the job that he did. Defensively, the key to the game to me was obviously the turnovers in the second half, but the first half holding to the field goals. In those situations, thinking to myself, all right, we've held them to 9 in 2 situations. They wanted 14. We gave them short fields in 2 situations, and then obviously on the punt, and then we had the personal foul when Ben ran into the returner. So, I really, all 3 phases, a really great team win for us, 9th win for this year, only the 7th team in school history to do that. But all the arrows are pointing up for us. Our administration's investing in our program, our football operations building, the things that we're doing to be successful. We're going to have those trophies soon. And I'm looking forward to our future. So I appreciate it. It's been a great week. I guess I'll open it up for any questions.
Will, whose call was it to go for the touchdown immediately after the turnover?
Brian. All of my offensive coordinators call all the plays. I don't call any plays, regardless of what you all may write.
Raise your hand. Go to the back here.
5:45 left in the third quarter. You go down 19-3. Anybody make a new Rocky speech to the sideline?
No, I wish those worked. I'd be good at them, but they don't. So, no, I think that it's 365 days a year how you run your program and the culture of your program. Our guys understanding at halftime we're at 9-3. We gave them 3 short fields. We actually moved the ball decently well against a very good Michigan defense. But, at the end of the day, we play for 60 minutes, and our guys understand that, and they keep chopping and they keep hanging in there, and they realize that, when you have Jake Bentley and you got Hayden Hurst and you have Bryan Edwards and you have some guys that are able to make some plays, and those guys are going to eventually make some plays for us. And that's where you just keep chopping and keep playing. And never once would I feel like the game was in the balance as far as that was concerned. Really not until yesterday. He came to me, and I didn't feel. I told y'all, I guess, whenever the press conference was, that I didn't feel like he would play in the game at the time. But we gave it a go in pregame. He said, "Hey, I feel good. I want to give this a shot," and he certainly gave us a charge. What a great run on the option play on the check by Jake out the backside against the look that we had. So again, he's a really good football player. We've certainly missed him as far as the latter part of our season and the charge that he gives us. Donnell Stanley in pregame didn't feel good enough to go. Zach was able to play. And Sherrod Green, I don't think was able to get in. We thought we'd be an emergency only. Well, again, there's not words I can really put into his contributions to our football program at South Carolina. He's going to be a great pro. He's an every down linebacker. He's instinctive and he's tough, and he's really, really smart. And in my brief time in the National Football League, that's one attribute that you got to have in order to have some longevity in the league, and that's to be extremely intelligent, and he is. But, again, you said it, 14th player ever. And that says a lot. And also a linebacker to have 14 interceptions, and he dropped the boot on the side over here. He should have had that one. So, but that shows you his instincts. That shows you his ball hawk mentality. He's an outstanding football player. We're certainly going to miss him.
Well, what does this say about this program that you're 3-9 2 years ago? You weren't. The program was 3-9
Right.
2 years ago. Now you're not.
Well, I think that it says that we've made progress. It's easy to point at tangible things and say, this is good. It helps in recruiting, obviously. It obviously helps your fan base. And so we got to continue to move forward. The great thing about it is we're building. And 70% of our roster is freshmen and sophomores. We have a bunch of really good players coming back next year. We need to have a great offseason. I told the guys, I thanked the seniors, I told the underclassmen, when you come back in January, all gas, no brakes. Let's get ready to roll. And that's what we need. You got to keep pressing forward. You got to stay hungry in everything you do, and that's what we're going to do in our program. And certainly we've scratched the surface of what I think we can do.
Third row over there.
Yeah, Will, how nice was it for you to win a bowl game here in Florida since you coached up the Rookie Gainesville first time?
I don't really have any. This is my first win in this stadium. I was defensive coordinator against Coach Gruden at the Miami Dolphins, and we lost here. I think 17-9. Anderson, he was running back for the from Fresno 32. You don't know. All right. I can't remember his name either. He was number 32. He had a run late on us. And then we lost here in 95 when I was a GA at Auburn against Penn State, 43-14. I think that's still the points record. I was just a graduate assistant. I was not a full-time defensive assistant. And then when I was at Auburn and we played Wisconsin here, we lost in overtime. So I'm just happy we're winning this stadium.
Coach, that was Mike Pittman.
Mike Pittman, that's right, Pittman. I get Anderson from Falcons mixed up with that. Thank you.
Josh.
Because of Bryan's inexperience in the role, did you communicate with him any differently in the lead-up? And did you talk to him at all at halftime? Anything, did you say anything?
Didn't even visit with the offensive staff at halftime. Had total confidence in making the right adjustments. We got it on the field in the third quarter. Generally, I get on the headsets because what do we like in the run game? What do we like at short yardage because it's not working? What is our plan with that moving forward, and how can we create some explosive opportunities down the field? We answered all three situations. We did not have a short yardage situation come up. There could have been a 4th and 1, but I felt like at that time of the game it was a field position game. I think so. I didn't feel like in that situation at midfield going for it on 4th down, punt and play field position.
Let's go to third row back.
Coach, you hold a team that's a predominantly run offense at under 100 yards. Defense is 90% effort. How proud are you of your guys?
Well, we've come a long way. We couldn't stop throwing against anybody last year if you watched us. And so it's good to see that you play blocks up front, you tackle, you leverage the ball, you understand formations. The one run that they had, we had people at the point of attack, and we missed a tackle on 22 Higdon down our sideline. So, again, being in the right spots and understanding leveraging formations, we're getting stronger as a program. We've got to continue to do that. That's going to be a huge part of our all season. Hand strength is critical for defensive players to be able to disengage and get off blocks. So we've come a long way, but we still have miles to travel.
Last one to David.
What were some of the issues with the special teams today, especially in the first half?
Yeah, well, David, Chris thought Javon Charleston hit the ball on the punt return, so that's why he tried to field it. And again, we've had 2 situations with that this year where we've not done a good job of communicating with that. They had never skied kicked to the side of the kickoff, and having Shi back, he needed to attack it, be aggressive with it. We need to be more aggressive in that situation. The ball landed, I believe, on the 12-yard line. He should have had plenty of time in operation to catch the ball and field the ball. So that was obviously disappointing. Ben ran into the returner. He needs to be more under control in that situation, which gave him, again, a ball at the 50 in a short field situation. So obviously those things are, tackling and special teams. When you go into bowl games, the 2 things that are my biggest concern going into a game. I thought we tackled okay today. But certainly we had some special teams issues we need to move forward with.